up? We are in the 2022 Corvette C8-R convertible in Accelerate Yellow. I am on my way to Revs Detail in Marietta, Georgia. Unfortunately, this thing is got some pretty major clear coat scratches all over it. I shouldn't say major because they're not deep into the clear coat or anything, but the whole car has been obviously wiped down with a dirty towel or a towel that was not a microfiber towel. So I'm about to have to go pay a bunch of money for this thing to get buffed several times and then get the whole car covered in PPF, so that way next time we wash it and the many times after that we won't have to worry about any clear coat scratches. But since this is gonna be me dropping the car off today, I'm not gonna have the car for probably a week or so, I would say. Figured I'd go ahead and do this POV video in the morning on the way to keep the content rolling. We've only got 712 miles on this thing. I've got it in tour mode right now. The engines and transmission and everything's still warming up. I found these super cool gloves by Fan Vents. You can actually, you know, access and touch screen everything with these gloves, and it's gonna keep your Alcantara nice. I got these off of Amazon for, I want to say, under 20 bucks. So, but yeah, that's one of the bad things about Alcantara, is that the smoke there for a second. But yeah, one of the bad things about Alcantara is, especially for me, I have very sweaty hands. I love Alcantara. I don't love what it looks like after a couple thousand miles of sweaty hands all over it. So the car still got 700 something miles. It's still relatively new. I'm gonna do my best to keep it that way by wearing these gloves. Keeps your hands warm, keeps the Alcantara nice. And once we get some smoother road, I'm gonna pop it into sport mode here. We just did a couple accelerations in tour mode and automatic, and it's still fast. I guess the engine is warming up now. The tires are of equal pressure now, so we're probably in a better position to do a pull when we get the chance. These C8s do have MagneRide. At least mine was for sure optioned with MagRide. So you have your mode selector here, and you can turn it to the right, it'll go to sport. You keep turning it to the right, it gets more aggressive, it goes to track. I'm in tour now, so if I turn it to the left, I believe it will go to wet mode. But depending on these modes, it's gonna loosen or tighten your suspension. So it's one of those things that you have to be cognizant of. You don't want to be riding around on sport or track mode on bumpy roads, because it's just gonna stress your car out. It's gonna stress your frame out. It's gonna stress your components out, hitting those hard bumps with stiff suspension. Obviously, suspension is for you know, absorbing some of these imperfections of the road and the weight of the car. So just know that just know what type of road that you're driving on, and oftentimes if you're commuting somewhere, you're going to want it in tour mode. The only times you're really going to want to put it in sport is if you know the road is, like I said, a little bit smooth, at least a little bit smooth. and if you're actually trying to like drive aggressively. Right now, these are certainly not any condition to be driving aggressively in. Tons of morning traffic, and this road is just not the greatest anyway. So I'm going to keep it in tour mode momentarily until I can achieve a position on a smooth road with less cars. We'll get there. I'll just talk about the car in the meantime. I really like the displays. I like all the information. These heated seats are great. The heated wheel is also really great. The gas on this thing is way better than I expected. Up to 30 miles a gallon because it's got the cylinder deactivation when in tour mode. You get some nice cylinder deactivation. And yeah, 30 miles a gallon on a V8. It's pretty good. So as I have Apple CarPlay, I got my phone and the wireless charger back here. We got the 1080p rear view camera mirror that I can flip to a standard mirror or just continue to use the camera. You can even adjust the settings on the camera, up or down, left or right, in or out, which I don't need to do. I did order a bunch of aftermarket parts for this car, possibly have more to come. I have not installed anything yet because obviously the paint and the paint protection film are my #1 concern right now. I don't want anybody leaning over the car, anybody or myself leaning over the car and further scratching the clear coat, so got to get that PPF on there before anything. And as far as a quick mods list like I've been trying to spit out here, ordered a bunch of stuff from Paragon Performance as well as a couple other protective items from other companies that I can't remember off the top of my head. And let's see what we got from Paragon Performance. I got the oil catch can for the convertible. I got the front radiator guards. I got the side heat exchanger guards. Okay, anyway, mods list. I have the C8-R WeatherTech floor mats in here. You can't see them right now. I got these seat covers because these bolsters are pretty extreme on this thing. So every time someone goes to sit in this car, they're gonna slide right across this bolster and eventually tear it up. So gotta get those seat covers and just protect your seats. You know, I hate to be that guy that's this concerned about his car, but I just, you know, I like keeping cars of this caliber in pristine condition. And a lot of people who may want to take a ride in it with you may not have that same passion for caring about this car. They just don't think of things like, you know, they often want to step right on your door sill where your Stingray plate is and mar that up. You know, I bought a plastic protector cover for the door sill. I haven't gotten it in the mail yet, but that's on the way. And definitely got to get that. Because like I said, people do and are going to step all over your door sill, and then they're going to slide across your seat bolster, marring up your door sill and scratching or possibly ripping your seat. So it's just best to go ahead and spend the little bit extra money on some of these extra protective parts so you can enjoy the car with your friends and family without, you know, without being that guy that's always like, hey, okay, watch the seats, watch the seats. You know, nobody wants to be that guy when they're trying to have a good time with their friends or family. So you don't have to be that guy if you just throw the seat cover on, put the door sill protector there, and then you got the WeatherTech floor mats. So you're pretty good to go at that point. I mean, they can step right on the door sill at that point and then slide right across the seat with the seat cover. And, you know, you don't have to look like some overprotective weirdo. Even though, you know, we're not, but, you know, to non-car people, they get a little weird about us being protective of our cars. Okay, let's throw this puppy in sport, manual. We are in 7, we're gonna drop her down. You're getting smoked around here, buddy. All right, we've had our fun. Throw it back in the tour. So mine does have the front end lift, which is a very nice feature that I very much needed. My driveway is a little steep. We got the heads-up display. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. Hey, look, there's another C8. It's a red C8. See, but we got the C8-R. We're doing it big. The C8-R convertible. I've not played around with a lot of the features of this car too much yet. The weather has just been honestly horrific. Cup holders, better than the C7. This thing doesn't like to stay closed. See what they're talking about in Revs detail. This seems to be the nicest detail shop I could find in the Atlanta metro area. So I'm really gonna have to make sure they do a good job on this. We got one shot and we need to knock it out of the park. This car gets way too much attention. I think this car gets more attention than my Audi R8 I had previously. People are just gonna pull up next to your window and just gawk and stare. So I've really gotta tint these windows. That's coming real soon. I'm gonna get the nicest tint. Ceramic Pro or whatever, Expel. All legal tint. I'll probably do the black strip across the top just to get some tint on the windshield while remaining legally tinted. As much as I want to just fully tint the front windshield like at 80% so it blends in with the other windows, it's probably not a good idea because that can affect fault in an accident, I believe. So you just got to be careful with things like that. Just do it legal, just do it right. It's not going to look that terrible. It's still a C8-R. So although we could make it look ultra badass, we're just going to keep it legal so that way we don't have any problems. And just try to make it look as good as we can within its legal limitations. Yeah, I really like driving this car. It's so smooth. And everybody says that in the reviews about these C8s. I guess it's the mag ride. You know, this touring mode and mag ride is just so smooth for city and interstate driving. It's quite pleasant. If you've driven a C6, you can, and then hop in one of these. I mean, there's a huge, huge difference. My last Corvette was a 2018 C7 Z06 with the 7-speed manual transmission. And I gotta say, this car blows that car out of the water. The excess power in the Z06 is cool, but the setup in comparison to this mid-engine setup, the C7 setup is just inferior in all ways. The transmission was inferior. The front engine placement and weight distribution was inferior. Mainly, I guess the transmission is the most inferior thing about the C7. This mag ride is great too. I don't remember the C7 even riding this cleanly. But the transmission for sure is the big catch with buying a C8. Very compliant transmission, relaxed when you want it to be relaxed, and sporty and crazy when you want it to be. So you guys let me know if I'm doing too much with these gloves, trying to protect this Alcantara on this wheel. I guess I could just get the wheel re-wrapped. Kind of defeats the purpose of having Alcantara if you're gonna wear gloves, eh? It looks nice, but it feels even nicer to the naked hand. But in the same token, it's gonna get matted and nasty, especially if you got sweaty, clammy hands like me when I drive. When I drive, my hands just automatically turn moist. I don't know what that's about, but that's, I think, one of the main reasons why I feel personally feel it's necessary to wear gloves while driving with an Alcantara wheel. My hands just turn into a sweat factory, and then it would very quickly mess up this wheel. So I don't mind the gloves. As long as I can access stuff with these, you can, which is great. I can pull out my phone, access my phone, don't have to take off the gloves. I can access this, don't have to take off the gloves. So that was really the selling point for me on these. I get to protect my wheel, and it's not going to interfere with me driving the car or operating the car whatsoever. So it's a win-win. And they don't look bad either. It kind of matches the car, eh? Black and gray. Matches a little bit. Yep, we got a spectator. Got a spectator. Alright, here comes a little sport mode. Third gear pull. Oop. See, it cut the power on me. I shifted too late. Lightning fast shifts. If you do redline the car, it's not going to over rev your car, it's just going to cut power. So not a big deal if you do hit the rev limiter here. Getting a little pullage in. This road's nice and smooth. Just smoke them every time. Now that's speed! And I've only got it in sport mode here. Not even track mode, so I don't even think this is the fastest mode, but it's good enough for some pulls, some YouTube pulls. Alright. We're almost there. Hopefully the roads stay nice and smooth. Let's get some revs here. See how this works. That shit sounds pretty good. I like that feature. That's a cool feature. Let's get these windows back up. See if we can rev at this guy a little bit. What's up, buddy? Oh yeah. Why are we going so slow, boys? I like that rev feature though. You pull in both the paddles and you can just rev the motor. That's pretty sweet. Got the garage door opener here. It was pretty easy to program. So I have my garage door programmed. You just hold the thing up to it and then you hold the button and it'll blink slow. And once it starts blinking fast, it's copied your remote code. Got these cameras up here. I think I have PDR. Something I'm gonna have to mess with soon. A little PDR camera action. Add that to the videos. That'd be good. It's probably decent quality camera as long as I'm finishing a project in 1080p. It'd probably be decent. I know if you hit this traction control button twice or something, you can put it into like race mode, and then you can do your launches where you just hold the brake and then mash the gas pedal and then dump the brake pedal off, and it's gonna launch your car supposedly. I've yet to try it. You know, it's probably something you want to do after 1,500 miles, and we're not there yet. So oh yeah. This car is amazing. It's great because you don't need all the horsepower that you used to need. To just go fast. This has got, you know, Shelby GT350 horsepower, a little less actually. And man, this thing just goes. Gotta say, I'm a big fan of mid-engine setups after owning two now, the Audi R8 and this. The mid-engine platform is just a superior race car. Is really what it boils down to. That traction is ever so necessary. Put it back in tour, take manual off. Lost my Carplay there. Alright, there we go. We are almost here at Revs Detail. I hope they're pretty excited to get this thing. I'm gonna condom it up and hope they don't take offense. But alright guys, thank you for joining me. We're gonna go check out Revs Detail now. And I hope you guys enjoyed this little POV drive review on my way to get this thing buffed. not gonna have it for a week or so, so we're gonna have to do some videos on the Slingshot or the R1 coming up here soon. But thanks for joining me, guys. I'll see you guys next time.